Welcome back, everyone, to the Cigar Smoke-Filled Back Room. I am Doug with Tusk Consulting. TuskConsulting@gmail.com. TuskConsulting@gmail.com. If you're a pro-gun Republican and you need political consulting and help, drop me a line at that email. See what we can do for you. If you're not a pro-gun Republican, we're not going to work together. In the ongoing video series about things that are not discussed enough in politics, or at least not discussed honestly enough, today we're going to talk about planning ahead for the future. And before we get too far into today's topic, the cigar of the day is a Five Vegas, a kind of a standby stick out here on the Cigar Smoke-Filled Back Room. And the bottle of the day is Noah's Mill. This is a Willet product, a very good one, not one of their better known ones, but a bourbon that I think stands up very well to just about anything. Anyhow, again, not sponsors to the program, but I would like that. Alright, so let's talk about planning ahead. So, very important in lots of endeavors to do this thing called look forward. Okay? The difference when you look at, say, a chess player, a master, a grandmaster, and an amateur, is when you look at how many moves ahead they're analyzing. An amateur is analyzing the move he's trying to make right now, or the move his opponent just made and trying to think what's the next move his opponent might make. A master is looking many, many moves ahead. And so sometimes when you are looking, not that chess is much of a spectator sport, but if you were to review the games of the masters, set up your little chessboard, look at the notation, and you and a buddy start doing it out, and you might stop and say, why was he doing that? That makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to you because you're an amateur. They're a master. And they're looking far enough ahead that that move makes sense to them and it fits in a strategy that they have. It doesn't necessarily fit in the short-sighted, nearsighted, myopic view that you take to the pursuit. And so it is in politics. But let's talk about how we apply this to politics. So, it's December 2024, and a bunch of you might be thinking about New Year's, right? You got Christmas coming up, New Year's. You might say, I gotta make some resolutions for 2025. Let me tell you, folks, the real political operatives aren't thinking about 2025. They're thinking about 2026 and beyond. And in fact, a lot of them have been positioning themselves for 2026 for some time already. I don't want to discount the odd-numbered years. Odd-numbered years are where you get, city council members elected and school board members elected and mayors elected and township trustees. Lots of very, very important, very local, very close to the people, important to get pro-gun Republicans in all those offices. Very, very critical. Not discounting it. But at the state and national level, it is the even-numbered years that really matter. The next even-numbered year is 2026, okay? So, it's coming. Real political operatives are already working on it. Some have been working on it for a while now. It's not too late for you to start thinking about it. Because here's the deal. By the time we get to the general election in 2026, man, the decisions as to who the nominees are going to be already made. Even by the time we get to the primary election in 26, which is when people that are at least halfway interested start paying attention. Again, decisions have already been made that will limit the choice, the field of choices that you have for candidates. In order to even get to the primary, you have to have a plan to get petition signatures and raise the money and media buys, all the things that are involved in running a campaign. And so, what is up in 26? What's at stake? Well, let's talk about that. There are going to be 34 seats up in the U.S. Senate. Normally be 33, but J.D. Vance is from Ohio. And he is going to be going off and being vice president, which will create a vacancy. The governor will appoint somebody, and that person will have to run for retention in 26. So there's an extra seat that's going to be up that normally wouldn't be. That means that there's going to be 34 U.S. Senate seats up. Now, if you look at the breakdown, partisan breakdown, that's 21 Republicans and 13 Democrats. Now, conventional analysis says we're in trouble, right? Oh my God, we got to defend so many more seats than they do. Oh, we're in trouble. Take that conventional analysis, ball it up, and chuck it out the window. There's only a couple seats on each side that are even competitive. I mean, look, some of those seats that are not super competitive will still hoover up resources, right? They'll still take money, they'll still take campaign energy, etc. But we probably can have a pretty fair guess as to which way they're going to go. There may be a couple of current Republican seats that are in danger and a couple of Democrat current seats that are in danger of being flipped. But that's it. Nobody believes that the U.S. Senate is going to change control from Republican to Democrat in 26. Nobody believes that, at least not right now. And nobody believes that Republicans are going to magically get to 60, filibuster-proof majority in the 26 general election. Nobody believes that. Could we pad our margin? Yeah, we could, and we should. And we need to work hard on that because eventually you can get there, right? It's, there's each step in the journey of 100 miles matters. But we ain't going to get there in 26. So the Senate's up. A couple seats could go either way, but that's really it. The U.S. House is also up. Every member of the U.S. House is up in 26. And hey, if you hadn't been keeping track, we have a very, very narrow majority in the U.S. House. So yeah, it really matters, okay? The U.S. House keeping a Republican majority, pro-gun Republican majority, very, very important. And that will not be easy. That's going to take a lot of fundraising and a lot of work. But then let's get away from the federal government for a second. Governor races. There's, 36 governors, I think? Yeah. That'll be up in 26. That's a lot, okay? Who do you think appoints a vacancy to the U.S. Senate seat, like we're going to have here in Ohio? The governor, okay? Very, very important to control governorships for a host of reasons, all right? Very important to control them, not least of which is their ability to appoint U.S. senators. Now, in the analysis of, as people are looking ahead to 26, they're, doing this thing called looking forward. The conventional wisdom says, the party in the White House, their first midterm, usually doesn't go very well. And while historically that's true, let's remember something. This is not Trump's first term. This is Trump's second term, not his first. Yeah, there was something else going on, but it doesn't matter. So that, a little bit of whatever, I don't really think that's necessarily going to be the case. I don't think you have to worry about that so much. The bigger question is what adjustments are going to be made by both sides. What adjustments will the Democrats make? Are they going to moderate? Or are they going to double and triple down on the woke stuff, on the class warfare, on the DEI, on the racial strife, on the patriarchy, and all that, right? Are they going to keep sailing that way? Furthermore, what about on our side? Who are we going to have as candidates for these Senate races and governor races and House races in 26? Because, hey, I'm a pro-Trump Republican. I am. But some of Trump's recruits back in 22, I didn't do so good. They didn't cross the finish line. I wish that were different. I do. Some of them did. J.D. Vance was one of them. But not all of them. Okay? Will we be able to make an adjustment that gets us better suited candidates in 26 than we had in 22? Now, this cycle here in 24 seems to say the answer to that is already leaning the right direction. And I'm happy about that. We need to see that adjustment sticks, gets even better. Additionally, what about the world stage? Well, we're talking about this battleground that we're going to have for our politics, metaphorical battleground. But what about actual battlegrounds? Is there going to be war or peace? Right? We got hot spots all over right now. Are those going to flare up more, or are they going to die down? That can make a huge impact. Huge. There are other potential hot spots that could get hot, that could make things very uncomfortable. If that doesn't happen, if peace breaks out, things will tend to, be a little bit better on our side. Will the economy be doing better? I obviously would like that to be true. I think most people would like that to be true. But if the economy does better, generally that helps the incumbent. Will the border situation be improved? Clearly that's a big, big part of the Trump agenda, the border agenda. And then, of course, the things that Donald Trump has to do, and Republicans of the Senate, Republicans of the House, and so forth. As we do these things, as the Republican majorities engage in these policies, will there be backlash to any of it? Because there could be. Look, not all medicine tastes good, okay? Unlike Noah's Mill, which is really quite fine. Some medicine tastes bad, but you have to have it. And the fact of the matter is, some of the things that may need to occur in order to get things under control, like the border, there could very well be some backlash to that. Now, I think a lot of people, especially Trump supporters, will be fine with it. But the moderates, the swing voters, they may see things differently. And of course, the Democrats are going to hate it. I'm not worried about them. But, there are people that we would like to show positive results to that are persuadable, or at least could be persuaded to show up and vote in 26, and we need their support. So in summary, it's very important in all professions, all fields, all pursuits, especially in politics, to look forward. Okay? The real political practitioners have been looking ahead to 2026 for a while now, and getting the strategy in place, getting their moves set up, and heck, I got a poll set to me today, believe it or not, for a 26 race. Not a joke, today. You should be thinking about 2026 too. And look, not every parameter is set, right? We don't. For instance, we don't know who is going to fill J.D. Vance's Senate seat yet. We don't know, right? So it's hard to say. It's hard to handicap that race for attention at this point, not knowing who the incumbent's going to be. But here's the deal. When a sailor sets out from port, he knows where the winds are right then. And he's got a weather forecast. But meteorologists can be sketchy. A good sailor can adjust, make course corrections, change his settings on his sails in order to make the most of the wind as it shifts, to a degree. Obviously, you can't sail directly into the wind, but you can tack into the wind and still make headway. Again, I am Doug with Tusk Consulting. TuskConsulting@gmail.com, TuskConsulting@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody. Catch you in the next one.